Welcome to Discovering Greatness. I am one of your hosts. I am Bree, and I'm joined today by Alex and Dr. Breakthrough. Alex, tell us a little bit, before we let Dr. Breakthrough talk, tell us a little bit about him because, man, you all are in for a treat today.
Yeah, we're really happy to have Dr. Breakthrough back on the podcast. If you don't know Dr. Breakthrough is the only 10th degree black belt who has spoken in all 50 states, 28 countries. He's built a team previously of 1.5 million people globally. He's been paid as much as $1,000 a minute to speak, and he's been voted into the Black Belt and Motivational Speaker Hall of Fame. He's probably the best leader, honestly, in the Great Discovery. He's the Chief Breakthrough Officer of the Great Discovery. So Dr. Breakthrough, thank you so much for joining us today.
Man, thank you for having me. It's a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure to be with you two. I just love the value that you two bring to the marketplace. And so I'm excited for us to be able to collaborate today. Matter of fact, I'm excited for your audience. I mean, I'm telling you, they're in for a treat. And just to clarify, I'm not the only 10th degree black belt in the world. I'm one of 200, but I happen to be the only 10th degree black belt who's also done those other things. And now I'm the only 10th degree black belt who's speaking to you right now.
Only 10th degree black belt I've ever met.
Yes, it's Shinryu karate and Japanese style. But I retired years ago as a heavyweight champion with karate world rating systems. And now we use the martial arts. Like when I preach, it helps men, especially and teenagers, to listen when I break boards and bricks and lay on nails and then jump up and they're like, man, whatever you say, preacher, right? Or when I'm doing a motivational, or I'm the world's first breakthrough speaker, right? Not just motivation, but when I do my breakthrough speech, again, I write things on boards and bricks, kind of like I did on my book here, like fear and procrastination and doubt and negative thinking and all that. And then I break those bricks, symbolizing, although they're hard, with enough focus and practice, we can break through those hard things. You can break through the doubt. You can break through the other people's negative distractions. You can break through the failures of the past. And when I stack up boards and I write on the front of it pain, and then I break those boards in my head, symbolizing that instead of being broken by pain like I used to be, I now learn to break through pain. I now learn the lesson of pain, because within your pain is hidden power, and you can take that hidden power and harness and create profits. And so, make a long story short, as a 3-year-old, my dad left, never came home, never called, never sent a dime. At 6 years of age, I was out in the middle of the field playing in the ghettos of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. A gang of teenagers came up and they beat me up. I mean, man, I was just a 6-year-old boy. They start punching all over me, picked me up, slammed me on the ground, started stomping on me, kicking on me, literally, where I was bleeding from everywhere you can bleed. I'm crying out for help, and then they flipped me over on my back. I'm face up. They take a great big old bucket of tar, pour it on my face, pour it on my body, take a bunch of feathers, throw them on me, literally leave me out in the middle of the field to die. Thank God somebody found me. But I went through sexual abuse and obviously physical abuse and racial abuse and every kind of abuse you can imagine. Unfortunately, I tried to commit suicide on 2 occasions before I was even 12 years of age. And I'm so glad I failed, right? And but seriously though, if you're in a hopeless situation, it's been said that suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I am now living a life not of my dreams, above my dreams, and I would have missed all of this if I'd have taken my life. So if somebody's down and out right now, just stay and hang in with us. But in a nutshell, I needed more breakthroughs than anybody I needed. And so anyway, make a long story short, like I said, because of the martial arts, and then got involved in ministry, and I would mix the two, and then marketing, and it would mix all 3 of them. And so I'm speaking 25 years ago now with Dr. Willie Jolly. He wasn't even Dr. Willie Jolly back then, but at Howard University. And he said, Dr. Stan, branding's everything. I know you have a PhD in martial arts, doctorate of divinity, and a few credits away from a doctor of naturopath. He said, but man, the way you break those boards, you write things on and break those boards and bricks, and then you can teach people in the audience. And he said, you're like a person that has a problem. They go to a doctor and the doctor writes a prescription. You're that guy that has a prescription. So you should be called Dr. Breakthrough, because when people need a breakthrough, you're the guy with the prescription. And I said, man, I appreciate that. Those are kind words, but I'm not sure that's true. But I promise you, I will live the rest of my life to make sure it is true. And it stuck. And so I tell people it's Dr. Breakthrough. I always give a disclaimer. I can't provide a breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. However, when people follow the prescription, God Almighty provides the breakthrough. The breakthrough is exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. And that's what started happening in my life. And one of the reasons I know my principles work is because I prescribed them to myself first. And it literally changed my life. And people start saying, what are you doing? What happened to you? What's going on? Right. And that opened the door for me then to obviously to start teaching and speaking and of course writing books and doing courses and just helping people. So my whole thing, by the way, one of the accolades we didn't read is that I'm married to the wife of my dreams. And when I woke up, it wasn't a nightmare. It's even better than I thought. Come on now. And we have 8 children. But yeah, it's a quiver full twice, right? But anyway, and my wife, by the way, I call her my ABCD, my adorable brown caramel delights. We were at the restaurant the other day. I took her to the movies and we went to a restaurant. And this guy said, the waiter said, would you like some dessert? I said, no, sir. I pointed to my wife. I said, I bought mine with me 100% natural. But we enjoy life. You know, we get to, travel and speak and do those things. But again, it was a take that wasn't so. And there was a day I never met. In fact, I did a television show the other day and no one's ever asked me this question. And my answer shocked me. You know, when they ask stuff just right in the moment, you don't even have time to think, right? And the guy said, when you were little, what were some of your dreams? I said, I didn't have any. I was in such trauma. I was just hoping just to live, right? Matter of fact, I remember I never even thought I'd make it out of high school. I never even thought that I would one day graduate from high school, right? And so, but when I got involved in martial arts, like I said, 15, that's when things started kicking in. Well, got involved in martial arts at 9, but then came to know the Lord at 15. And that's when things really, I started putting some goals and having some dreams and aspirations. But before then, I didn't have any. And so that's why I always tell people say, man, you got a dream, you got this, and I was like, no, I didn't have any. I'm living way beyond my wildest dreams and imagine. First of all, I didn't dream. And then when I finally started it, now I'm surpassed that. And so I had to dream bigger and so forth. But I just love life. I love empowering people. And by the way, somebody is going to get a bumblebee breakthrough before we're done. What's a bumblebee breakthrough? Well, aerodynamically, it's impossible for the bumblebee to fly. They tell us that the wings are too small in proportion to the body. But because the bumblebee doesn't believe that, he flies anyway. And when you change your belief structure, hello, somebody. I mean, I'm now doing the things that people used to say I would never do, and also the things I never thought I could do. But now because I changed, I'm transformed now, I got to do different thinking. That's why I love what the Great Discovery is all about, helping people to discover inside of their greatness and then deploy it, discipline it, and then even get to monetize it. And so, but what you two are doing also is just absolutely, it's absolutely amazing. And so again, I want to thank you. I hope your audience appreciates what you two are bringing to the table, because you two are like, I can't even say Batman and Robin. I got to say Wonder Woman and Superman.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Your story it's so inspirational in what you did suffer through. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So the one question I really wanted to ask you is, what would you say to someone right now who is suffering, is going through things, and they may not even think they're deserving of a breakthrough, right? Because I think that's what holds a lot of people back, is they don't think they deserve it. What would you say to them?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was in that category, because you start internalizing everything. You start thinking, all this bad stuff's happened to me because I'm a bad person and I'm no good and I don't deserve anything and I'll never amount to be anything and I'm no good and I'm, and so, but in a nutshell, here's what I do in life. And by the way, I'm speaking another hour and a half to a group, and I'm going to give them the 4 categories of people in the world. Now, spiritually, there's 2 categories, believers and non-believers. But as far as life, there's 4 categories of people, and I've lived all 4 of these, okay? And so don't let me be on this too long. But anyway, number 1, those who are a mess or at best mediocre and don't know or believe that they could be a master. So because my premise is every master was once a mess or at best mediocre, therefore every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. But there's a group of people like I was a mess, and maybe some people don't want to say mess, okay, mediocre, but I was a mess. Other people might be mediocre. But I not only did I not know, but I didn't believe that I could ever be a master, right? Now, then I got to a place where I knew, but I didn't believe. And then one day it finally dawned on me, I finally started believing if I got a mentor, I could probably. And so the group number 1, those who are a mess or mediocre, but don't know or believe they could be a master. Number 2, those who are a mess or mediocre and who are actually working toward becoming a master. So I call them a master in the making. Then number 3, those who are masters, they made it. And then number 4, those who are masters who messed up and they're in the remaking. Out of 8.2 billion people, everybody fits in one of those categories. I've been through all 4, right? So I understand. But one of the things is this, and I'm gonna give you an illustration. I've committed my life to educating and empowering people to break through any barrier. And what I do is I ignite and reignite a passion of people for life, for love, for the Lord, and for business. So I'm gonna see if I can demonstrate this. So here's a person, and okay, let's come over here, this side, right? And we all have a light, right? We all have a light. But sometimes people like me that were abused, right? Tarred, feathered, life beat them up, drowned them, like just messed them up, right? And all these haters and all the, and so after a while, although we used to be like this, now we're like this. It's like nothing. Even when we try, like nothing. I'll move this out the way. I can see Bree looking like that might spill. Isn't that funny how I can just, okay. And so here's what happens. I'm the guy that comes along.
Wow.
Like Dr. Breakthrough. I'm doing everything I know to do, and it just doesn't, it's okay. And that's why, see what you're doing here as well. You're like being that way. And here's the beautiful thing. And then when we learn to collaborate, we can burn brighter and higher, right? But again, this was me. Used to have that spark. Was knocked out because of pain, knocked out because of all the hatred, and all knocked out. But I'm telling you, when I connected with somebody else who was on fire, and now I'm going around finding other folks. And so that's what I do. I ignite and reignite a passion of people for life, for love, for the Lord, and for business. And I just tell people, I'm telling you, you can break through the depression. You can break through being stuck. You can break through where you are now, where you think that, by the way, and this is so crazy, but people have to understand this. Before you get your undeniable breakthrough, you usually have to have an overwhelming breakdown. The greatest book ever written says, unless a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it'll bring forth much fruit. And by the way, that's a whole nother breakthrough, the breakthrough of that seed, the seed that has to go in the ground. And they thought they buried me years ago, but they didn't know I was a seed. They planted me. Come on, somebody. I was down in the dirt, in the darkness. Nobody could see me. And I'm like, well, my goodness, nothing's happening. But guess what? After a while, I cracked open. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so painful. But then all of a sudden, something started happening, and I broke through the ground. It started growing, and now I'm spreading out all over the place. And that's what I want to happen to your listeners.
Wow.
And you've encapsulated this. I mean, this breakthrough process in your 21-day breakthrough challenge, which we're going to link below. It's incredible. I've been going through it and re-going through it and going through it and re-going through it, because you've just taken everything that you've gone through in your journey and you've put it into this course. So I want to talk about the 21 benefits of the Great Discovery. But before we do that, can you talk to us about the 21-day breakthrough challenge?
Sure. So people kept saying, man, how in the world did you go from being a mess to a master? And of course, in the martial arts, a grandmaster, right? And then literally also in speaking, I went from a mess, right? I mean, I remember listening to people speak. Like, how do they even do that? Like, especially the ones that speak without notes. I'm like, that's impossible. I could never do that, right? And then one day it dawned on me again, if they're doing it, maybe if I get a mentor, if I get a coach, I could do it as well. When I first started martial arts, I tripped over my own feet. They called me Mr. Baboon. But again, I was committed though. And so one of the things I teach people is if you're committed to the process of being bad or feeling bad for as long as it takes for your mentor to help you to get good, you can get good in anything. So I was a mess, and all of a sudden now people see me as a grandmaster martial arts, master motivator, master in speaking, master in business. And they're like, what, how'd you make that transformation? And so it was the hardest thing I ever had to do. And I finally boiled down to the 21 main things that took me from being a mess to a master. And then Les Brown and I were speaking in London, and he made a statement. He said, the greatest speakers are those who take the fewest words and make them go the farthest. And so I was like, wow. So I painstakingly boiled. First I came up with these 21 things, but then I had to painstakingly boil that down to 3 to 5 minutes. I call it micro coaching because I said people are super busy, right? But everybody has 3 to 5 minutes, even when they're getting in the shower, getting dressed or whatever. And so I boiled those down to 3 to 5 minutes, and I call it the 21-day breakthrough challenge. You're guaranteed to get one or more breakthrough going through this. I got a powerful testimony from a lady. She said she's on day 10, and she talked about the 3 powerful breakthroughs she had already. And one of those breakthroughs, she wanted to be connected to this very super high level speaker that they would do some work together. And now they're in collaboration. She said that was only on day 10. She said, I can't even wait till I get to day 21, right? And so anyway, people all over the world have been changing their lives. But I kept having people say, yeah, but you need this in Spanish because I got friends and they don't understand English, or maybe English is their second language. And if it's in Spanish, they can understand a whole lot better. And so I was trying to figure out how can I get it translated. It's going to cost me about $2,000. And that wasn't the big issue. The big issue, though, would have been somebody else's face, somebody else's voice, and somebody else's energy or lack thereof. Like everybody doesn't have the fire like I have it, right? Now everybody's got their own fire, but my fire is a little different. But anyway, and then I was introduced to this thing called the Great Discovery. And the guy who introduced me, by the way, had been through my 21-day breakthrough challenge. He said, Doc, if you could put your 21-day breakthrough challenge, we got affiliates that will help you sell it, and we can translate. I said, whoa, translate what, like Spanish? He said, oh, at that time it was like 47. I was like, no, all I need is Spanish. He said, okay, we got 47, and we're going to have over 100 by the time we're done. Of course, now I think we're at 147 or 148, something like that. But anyway, I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, wait, and it wasn't going to cost $2,000, by the way. But when he said other people are going to be promoting and selling my 21-day breakthrough challenge, I was like, hurry up and sign me up. And so now I'm not just on fire. In my whole life, Alex and Bree, what I've been working on to help, because again, I've been trying to help people to break through these barriers and, hey, there's greatness in you and you can do it. Now I found a platform where all this could be done in one place. So I was like, I was born for this. Like I said, every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. And when a mess or mediocre person becomes a master, you now have a message that if you collaborate with the Great Discovery and market to the masses, you can make millions, right? That's my story. And the Great Discovery is like the whole next level now where I do all this together. And I always say the Great Discovery, again, doesn't compete with anything. It'll actually enhance, enable, and empower a person to do whatever they do better. And so wherever you want to go in life, my friend, and whatever you want to accomplish, I believe through the Great Discovery, you can get there faster and easier. Here's why. Number one, we're going to give you mentors who can inspire you. Number two, we're going to give you a model that you can follow, a proven model, by the way. And then number three, we're going to give you methods you can implement, and the speed of your implementation will determine the speed of your success, and you have the freedom to do it at your own pace. And by the way, Alex and Bree are two powerful leaders that you actually have a meeting every morning that people can log into and learn more about this.
Yeah. I love what you just said when you said, yeah, you can make millions, but you can also change millions, right? And that's the power of this. Because yes, you can make money doing it, lots of money. It's there, and it's ready and waiting and set up to accommodate that. But it's also set and the mission is to change millions. We want to change millions. We want our messages, our passions, the things that are so important to us to get out there and change the world. And so how can one person change the world? Well, if their message is powerful and that's their goal, then they can put it out there, and we have the tools and the implementation to reach those millions and to change millions. So.
And here's what people don't know. Everybody has something great in them, something powerful in them that's powerful to somebody. Remember, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, right? And so some people, like I said, I may not look that great to some people, but to my wife, she says, I'm the most handsome man in the world. That's all I need to know. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, here's the problem is, there are people that are looking for you, looking for what you have to offer. You just got to learn to make yourself findable. And one of the things that Bree and Alex are doing are working with a platform, and I do. We're working with a platform that helps that to happen for people. But you could take a course that literally, here's what I say about this. Without a breakthrough mentality, nothing on earth can help you. With a breakthrough mentality, nothing on earth can stop you, and you become unstoppable, my friend. So I lived this. I went from being a victim to being victimized, and then, but then I became a victim, and literally, unfortunately, I became a volunteer. Right? I mean, I just started volunteering, telling my story over and over again, and I didn't realize it. It was just. I tell people, look, when hard things happen, don't curse it, don't nurse it, don't rehearse it. Just give it to God, let Him reverse it. Right? But I went from being a victim, victimized, to a victim, to a volunteer victim. I just kept volunteering, right? And then I learned to become a victor, right? I'm like, wait a minute, I can overcome this. I can break through this. And that's what my 21-day breakthrough challenge will do for people, right? And then the 21 benefits that I have of the Great Discovery, we go in the discovery process to help someone to see, does this fit them? Is this for them? Because everything's not for everybody, right? But you got to find out what your reasons are, what you're passionate about. And like you said, Bree, it's not always the Great Discovery. It's not always about the money. It's about the mission. However, when you fulfill your mission, you can't help but make money. So 3 things real quick. Number 1, the first level is making money. That's where most people, they think that's success. They stop there. A higher level is making a difference. But the highest level is when you make money. While you make difference, the more difference you make, the more money you make, the more money you make, the more difference you can make. And that's the way the Great Discovery is set out. So whether a person wants to just be a content creator, a learner, or an earner, it doesn't matter. We have what you have and what you want here. And if you like network marketing, I always tell people you'll love this. But if you don't like network marketing, matter of fact, if you hate MLM, you're really going to love the new breakthrough concept. That's one of the benefits. I'm getting started already, but let me.
Yeah, we do got to wrap it up here today because we're at the top of the hour. But Dr. Breakthrough, I want to have you back to discuss the 21 benefits of the Great Discovery, because you just break it down in such an incredible way. But like I said, we do got to get going since we're a little bit past time already. Dr. Breakthrough, can we have you back? Will we have you back?
Oh, my most definitely. I look
amazing.
Well, Bree, why don't you wrap us up here?
I was going to invite myself if you wasn't going to invite me.
Oh, we're inviting you.
There's
always a space at the table for you.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to move this back because we need the full hour. We need to be able to go the full hour with Dr. Breakthrough. So we're going to move it. We're going to change the time of the podcast so we have more time to do this, because I want you to go through all 21 benefits of the Great Discovery, because it's super, super powerful the way you break it down. But Bree, why don't you wrap us up here today, and we'll let Dr. Breakthrough get back to his day.
Yeah, what a powerful half hour that we did have here today. Thanks for hanging out with us and joining us. Thank you, Dr. Breakthrough, because every time I talk to you, and I see you all the time, and I hear your words so often, and they're always so inspiring. But today, you shared so much with us, and I think it speaks to me, and I think it speaks to so many people listening right now that need to hear that needed that message today. They're looking for that breakthrough, and you lead by example. You lead with such a kindness, such a generosity to the people that you work with, and you're so inspiring. So I cannot thank you enough for being here to share your message and to hopefully give other people the chance for a breakthrough. Obviously, I'm going to have all of the links to everything in the description. Please go check it out. Please see all of the amazing things that Dr. Breakthrough is doing. Thank you for being here today. Thank you, Alex, for always being the best co-host a girl could ask for. We always have such a good time. And we'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Bye-bye. We'll see you. Peace and increase.